Hiya. It's a bit inclement outside after the sun showed its face yesterday, and I was shocked and almost in a t-shirt. Today it is, to use a technical term, blowing a hoolie. So I'm sheltering down here in the polytunnel because there's a little bit more room, a little bit, and I've just been putting on some of the early experiments that we've been doing, just to work out best times to sow things, and it's kind of pretty interesting. So these two sets of leeks, these ones were planted on the 10th of January, and these ones were planted on the 3rd of February. So, a fair few weeks difference. And although these are a little bit more sturdy because they've been hardening off down here, not a huge amount of difference between the two. So, yeah, it's kind of pretty interesting. And then this cabbage, again, was done on the 10th of January, I think. And then these ones were done on 3rd of February. So again, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. And again, not a huge amount of difference. This is starting to get a genuine leaf. Those are yet to. And then the rest of the stuff, beef tomatoes, these are coming on quite nicely. So I'm just putting those on using a mixture of the seed compost, our compost, and a bit of the a bit of the polytunnel compost that we used last year. So yeah, popping those up. I digress though, because this week I was talking about the greenhouse that we managed to snag last week, which is pretty awesome. So it was up on FreeCycle, and we managed to get hold of it for the first time in about 7 years trying. And then the panic ensued because I've never taken down a greenhouse and I had no idea how to do it. And the thought of the lady looking out of a window whilst I bundled around smashing pieces of glass and stuff had me feeling quite anxious. But it's actually not as bad, or it's actually quite easy, to be honest with you. So the windows are held in by W clips, and you have kind of 2 per piece of glass, and you can just use a pair of pliers just to flick them out. So you take those out, and you work from the top of the greenhouse down, and then when there are panes on top of each other, they have 2 little Z clips, which the glass can sit and sits above the other piece of glass. So actually, I didn't break any glass, at least taking it off. I did break a piece of glass driving it home, but it took an afternoon to take the glass off. I thought it was going to take an hour. It took about 3 hours. And then I spent about another couple of hours trying to dismantle the frame. So piece of advice, if you've got access to a van, especially a bigger van, so I actually borrowed my neighbour's bigger transit van. I managed to keep the 4 sides as like whole pieces, because it's generally like just a Meccano set. Like, I love Lego as much as the next man, but I don't really want to have to sit and spend the next 6 months trying to put it all back together. So yeah, managed to keep it into 4 pieces. We've got all that back on the plot, and so the next task will be to clean it all up, get it back together, dig the level base and so on for us to plant in, and then hopefully that will be our chili greenhouse for the year. So yeah, this episode is pulling it all down. Let's have a look at how we got on. We're going on a little bit of an adventure. So we're going to go down the road, because someone on FreeCycle's got a greenhouse that we can have. I have no clue how to take a greenhouse down. So we're going to go and have a little look and see what's what, and then hopefully make a start getting it ready so we can take it to the plots. Well, this is all very exciting. So got a few little panes to replace. I'm going to go around and just make a mark of where all these pieces join, and also what each of these pieces of glass are. So I'll do that first. I've gone round and I've labelled each of the pieces of glass. So we can see front left top 3, 2, 1, move the door, front top 3, 2, 1, the right and the left. and then right side, right 3, 2, 1, and so on. So I think best thing to do now is to try and take the glass out, and then we can make a note on all these parts of the frame where they join, and then have a go at taking it apart. It's really quite easy to get these out. Easier now, hopefully, because this piece of glass is on the floor. But on the greenhouse, you just get a pair of pliers and you just run along the bottom of the glass and just pull out. You can see the clip, and then they just pop out. So there's normally 2 of those on each pane of glass, which you need to remove, and then they can slide out, which is pretty handy. Down to 2 sides now, so just like undoing the corners, taking the panels off, got them stuck there. All the rest of the bits are in the van. Look at these bits, and we'll be done. And just like that, it's gone. Although that took a good 5 or 6 hours probably of time to dismantle and get in the van. Right, off to the allotment. Firstly, what is the sun about? Some sort of yellow thing in the sky. Haven't seen that for a while. So we've gone and got the greenhouse, which is great. And then we brought it all down here to the allotment, and I'm just going through, because when we were taking it apart, some of these bolts, because they're aluminium, they fuse together and they don't have any forgiveness like iron, so they just shatter. So when we were taking the greenhouse apart, we probably lost, I don't know, 10, 15 bolts. And also the bits that hold the glass, so you have W clips like these, which are the bits that hold the glass in the frame, and then you have these Z clips which sit on each pane of glass, so you can rest the next pane above it. Now, pretty sure we're going to have lost a few of those as well. So I took a little trip up to York Supplies, Kings Heath. Hats off to them. They sell single Z clips, single bolts if you want them. I just bought a little pack. So now I need to go through, make sure all the glass, like work out which bits of glass are broken, and then start cleaning things up, and then we can think about putting it back together. Well, this will keep us busy rather than getting carried away planting seeds, because we've got a big pile of aluminium and glass and bonus slabs which we can fix it to. So, happy days.